Ordet. 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 Logos. Or whatever the word really is. Anyway. Hi. Nick Jackson. Criterion Collection Reviewer Guy. Number 124 continued. Carl Theodor Dreyer continues his rage. His reign on the Criterion Collection. With number 126, Ordet. This is the third one. I just totally forgot about The Passion of Joan of Arc. Well, obviously, I forgot about The Passion of Joan of Arc because, yeah. Anyway, so I think I mentioned the last one, Day of Wrath was the first one, and I hadn't seen any of his stuff, and then I realized that I had seen Passion of Joan of Arc, but yeah, I kind of wiped that one from my memory. Let the hate comments continue. Anyway, so Ordet, Carl Theodor Dreyer, 1955, 125 minutes, Danish of course. And this one, I think I like this one. I definitely like this one. Was much more of an improvement than Day of Wrath. I am sorry, but this one was much better. Longer, the longest in the box set. This one's, I think, 10 minutes shorter than. I think Gertrude is 10 minutes shorter than Ordet, but whatever. It's got a good plot, really interesting. It's a great one for discussion as far as religion. I mean, I'm not a big religious guy. So, a lot of the stuff they were talking about, it's just really interesting to hear, the discussions and all that. So I wasn't, I didn't want to take sides with anybody because I didn't believe in everything that everybody was saying. But anyway, so let's talk about this. So it's it's about a farmer. His name's Morten Borgen is his name. He's a father, and he got 3 sons. There's Mikhail Borgen, who is married to his wife Inger, and he doesn't believe, or he believes he's agnostic. He believes that God cannot be proven. There's Anders, who is in love with the daughter of a fundamentally Christian father, who wants them to join his sect before they'll before he'll give his blessing. And then there's good old Johannes, who, after reading too much Kierkegaard, believes he is now the Son of God, Jesus Christ, and goes about spreading the word as if he were God, as if he were Jesus, And so it's basically it's really interesting. It's about religion. The movie is about religion. How the 3 of them, the 3 sons, all are all have complexes that relate to religion. Johannes, of course, has gone mad. He wanders, and they all try to put up with him. But most of the way, he kind of gets in the way most of the time. And of course, Anders wants Anne badly. He wants her, to be his wife, but he ends up at the same time. I don't know if he really truly wants to believe, and so he ends up basically running to his father, and his father wants to, tries to convince him and all that, and they end up getting in a fight later and all that. Meanwhile, Mikhail, basically just. Mikhail's faith is probably the one who's most tested of them all. After Inger has complications with the baby she's having. Later in the movie, she ends up giving birth, and apparently she is in pain, and she ends up having to abort the baby. And I think it's at this moment that I think Morten actually asks his son to pray, and but he's really not really wanting to and all that. And meanwhile, Johannes is still wandering around saying, "Oh, the Son of God, you will have to have it and believe." He reminds me of one of those guys who holds a lantern. 12 o'clock and all's well. He's got I think a a black cape and a hood and all that. I think he's kind of like a monk, you know, or a priest of sorts. Definitely not dressed like Jesus was when he was nailed to the cross. But then again, that probably wasn't, you know, what he wore all the time. He didn't wear rags, you know. But anyway, so Morton tries to convince Mikkel to believe and all that, and Mikkel doesn't, and it isn't until Inger dies shortly afterwards, after Johannes predicts it. He predicts it, so he ends up running. Johannes runs away, and Mikkel is like, "Oh, what have I done? Why?" He kind of thinks that, you know, he should have believed. You know, he could have prevented this if he had believed in the Lord and all that. And so they have a wake, and Johannes comes back, and he's actually cured. He's actually he doesn't think he's Jesus anymore. He's dressed in a, you know, he's dressed normally, or he has his hair, you know, short and all that, and he actually has short hair, and he has the sweater and all that. And so he comes up, and Inger's daughter asks Johannes to revive Inger, and so he says that, you know, he will, and he says if you believe in the word, and, you know, arise. And her fingers start to move, and she gets up, and everybody's just speechless. And Mikkel finally believes, you know, he finally has found faith now that he realizes that, you know, his dead wife has come up out of the ground. You know, he finally has found faith in his, you know, the word of the Lord, or whatever you call it. And yeah, no, so anyway, yeah, it's a great story. There's a lot of really interesting discussion about religion. It didn't necessarily change me in any way, but it was really interesting to, you know, to know that there is this movie out there that takes different looks at, you know, a Christian religion and all that. And so because of that, you know, I found it, I was really interested in the whole thing, and the plot was really easy to follow. And yeah, it was just a lot easier to get through than Day of Wrath, even though it was, you know, a half hour and some minutes longer than Day of Wrath. So yeah, I like this one. I love this one quite a bit, actually. I don't think it was sold separately, so I couldn't buy it, but so I'd have to buy the whole Theodor Dreyer box set, which I think is still in print. I'm not sure. Actually, I think it is out of print. Yeah, I think this one is out of print, so oh well. Anyway, so yeah, so I like this one. As far as the cinematography goes, Dreyer, you know, pretty much, you know, definitely nailed this one. Apparently, I was reading on Wikipedia there's only 117 shots, or 110, 120 shots in the whole film. So there's a lot of shots, and I wish that now I kind of want to go back and count all the shots. And I want to see how some of the scenes, the shots are for 7 minutes. And so that's really cool. That you know, I love that those unedited, you know, films and all that. They first try. You know? So yeah, so this one wasn't bad. Still a little long, weird in places, but you know, it's still an interesting discussion on religion, and one that I wouldn't mind seeing again, because for the shots, and just to get all the, you know, nail all the context, you know, behind every scene and all that. So I'm giving this one a B. I'll give it a B. Not bad. A little on the long side, but little tricky to follow in places, but still way easier than Day of Wrath. So Ordet gets a B. Supplements. There's just a 5-minute excerpt from the My Miter, the deleted footage with Birgit Federspiel, who plays, I believe, plays Inger. Does she play Inger? Yeah, she plays Inger. So she just basically talks about Dreyer, you know, and yeah. So Ordet, B, good stuff, not bad. Anyway, So yeah, so then tomorrow we got Gertrude, and then Wednesday night, Wednesday evening, we will do My Miter, Carl Theodor Dreyer, My Miter, and then next week we'll do Latrue, Shop on Main Street, or I think it's called a Shop on Main Street. Then Closely Watched Trains, and so on and so on and so forth. And yeah, so hopefully we'll have those. I'll have those for you Wednesday when I go back to work. They'll be in. And yeah, that's it for me. Thanks for watching. Believe what you want to believe. You can believe in the Word if you don't want to, but you don't have to believe in the Word. It's up to you. But don't go around thinking you're Jesus Christ. Don't read so much Kierkegaard that you think you're Jesus Christ. How about that? Anyway, and then yeah, and if you want to marry who you want to marry, don't be that father who says you have to marry, get into a sect if you want to marry the pretty daughter. And yeah, those are the morals. So anyway, we'll see you tomorrow for Gertrude. Until then, goodbye.